You might get a gold medal with a 10-second.
Okay.
But you have the world record at 9.5, let's say 9.55.
Yeah.
Every race, you are a world record holder.
Ferdinand Omanyala has never been one to hold back, especially now as the sprinting world fills with new records and rising stars. But his latest comments have sent shockwaves through the track and field community because this time, he's not just talking about himself. He's made a bold claim that calls out Noah Lyles, Oblique Seville, and the entire direction of modern sprinting. Let's break down what Omanyala really said and why it's sending shockwaves through the track community. Ferdinand Omanyala didn't mince words when asked about Oblique Seville's surprise win at the Tokyo Diamond League. According to him, Seville's victory wasn't just about talent or preparation, it was partly about opportunity, specifically the absence of Tebogo. Tebogo's disqualification created a quiet advantage. Omanyala explained that in high-stakes sprint races, the lane next to you can drastically influence your performance. With Tebogo out, Seville had less pressure on one side, allowing him to run more freely. That small shift, Omanyala suggests, may have made all the difference in a final where hundredths of a second separate gold from bronze. To understand how much that matters, you need to consider the high-stakes intensity of the men's 100 meters final. Athletes are trained to block out distractions, but having an elite sprinter like Tebogo breathing down your neck can disrupt rhythm, timing, and overall composure. The psychological edge that comes from having an open lane or a less aggressive runner beside you isn't just theory, it's a real, tangible advantage. Seville capitalized on it perfectly. Seville clocked a blazing 9.77 seconds, a personal best that left even Kishane Thompson and Noah Lyles trailing behind. Thompson grabbed silver in 9.82, while Lyles, usually a dominant presence, had to settle for bronze with 9.89. While some might chalk this up to simple race dynamics, Omanyala's perspective adds a layer of strategy and mental game that often goes unnoticed. It also highlights just how unpredictable elite sprinting can be. When margins are razor-thin, even the smallest variable, a disqualified runner, a slightly faster tailwind, a different lane, can become decisive. That's the brutal beauty of the 100 meters. It demands perfection in less than 10 seconds. But that wasn't all he said. The Kenyan sprint star also addressed one of the most hotly debated topics in the sport, lane placement. While he acknowledged that outer lanes can offer more visibility and rhythm, Omanyala made it clear real sprinters adapt. He referenced legendary moments where athletes defied lane logic, Sha'Carri Richardson's championship win from lane 3, Justin Gatlin's upset over Usain Bolt from lane 8. To Omanyala, these moments prove one thing. When you're in shape and mentally locked in, the lane doesn't matter, and he should know. Omanyala, Africa's fastest man, has battled through injuries, criticism, and intense competition. But he's still standing, still racing, and still speaking his mind. And when it comes to mental preparation, he's just as calculated. Before every race, he replays his past victories, not for nostalgia, but to ground himself in confidence. It's a psychological weapon, a reminder of what he's already accomplished and what he's still capable of. Unlike the flashy entrances and pre-race antics of Noah Lyles, Omanyala prefers focus. He doesn't dance, he doesn't pose. As he put it, "I'm not that kind of guy." This difference in pre-race approach reflects a deeper contrast in styles between the two sprinters. Lyles thrives on energy, theatrics, and crowd interaction. It's part of his identity and perhaps even his performance routine. Omanyala, on the other hand, embodies quiet intensity, a man who lets his legs do the talking. This silent killer mindset is increasingly rare in a sport where personality often overshadows performance. Instead, he studies the lineup. He dissects strengths and weaknesses. Who starts fast? Who finishes strong? Every detail fuels his adrenaline and sharpens his strategy. And when names like Lyles or Thompson show up on the sheet, Omanyala doesn't shrink, he rises. His mindset is simple. Run in your tunnel. Focus on your lane, because the moment you start chasing someone else's race, you've already lost. This mentality becomes even more impressive when you consider the road he's taken. Omanyala's journey back to the top hasn't been easy. After a rocky 2024 season plagued by injuries, he made a major change, ditching his coach Geoffrey Kimani and reuniting with Duncan Ayemba, the man who guided him to his African record of 9.77 seconds. It's a move rooted in familiarity and trust. Under Ayemba's guidance, Omanyala believes he can reclaim his edge, and he's not shy about his ambitions. Despite setbacks, he insists that none of the new crop of sprinters poses a real threat. Lyles, Seville, Tebogo, Thompson, he's raced them all, and he's beaten them all. In interviews, Omanyala is blunt. Right now, none, because I've beaten all of them. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. He knows what he's capable of, And he's not chasing rivals, he's chasing records. In fact, when asked whether he'd rather win an Olympic gold or break a world record, Omanyala didn't hesitate. He'd choose the record. Why? Because in the modern athletics scene, times matter. A gold medal might bring prestige, but a world record brings bargaining power. Higher appearance fees, bigger contracts, global recognition that lasts beyond a podium ceremony. You might win gold with 10 seconds, he said, but if you run 9.55, you'll be a world record holder, and your appearance fee will shoot up. It's a bold and brutally honest take on the sport's economics, and it shows just how calculated Omanyala's comeback really is. He's not interested in empty hype or temporary victories. He wants legacy. He wants numbers that can't be debated. And most of all, he wants to prove that African sprinters belong at the very top. Kenya, long known for its dominance in distance running, has not traditionally produced world-class 100-meter sprinters. Omanyala's rise has been groundbreaking, challenging old narratives and shifting how the world views African speed. His presence alone is reshaping the identity of Kenyan athletics. Many younger athletes in Kenya and across Africa now look to Omanyala as a symbol of what's possible beyond middle and long-distance events. His success is igniting new interest in sprints, pushing local federations to invest in better training facilities, sports science, and coaching for short-distance runners. His impact goes beyond his own achievements. It's starting a movement. As Omanyala rebuilds under Ayemba's watch, he's combining old-school grit with modern insight. His training is relentless, his diet, disciplined, his mindset, unshakable. And he's not just preparing for the next race, he's preparing to rewrite the narrative. To many, Noah Lyles is the face of modern sprinting, charismatic, confident, a showman with medals to match. But Omanyala isn't buying into the hype. He respects Lyles' talent, he acknowledges his wins, but he doesn't see him as unbeatable. What Omanyala sees is opportunity, a sprinting landscape in flux, a chance to rise not just as a contender, but as a record setter. And with his eye on the 2026 season, he's not backing down. This isn't just about one race or one rival. It's about challenging the system, shifting the spotlight, and reminding the world that sprinting greatness isn't limited to one region, one style, or one name. Ferdinand Omanyala's bombshell wasn't just a statement, it was a warning shot. He's coming, and this time, he's not just racing, he's making history.
So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.07.
Wow.
That is not human. And let's wait for the swing. Let's wait for the adjustment.
The clock was about to display numbers nobody expected. Peter Norman's record stood for 56 years. Usain Bolt's mark lasted 21 years. Both were about to fall. Then, a teenager named Gout Gout stepped on the track in Brisbane. What happened at the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre made the whole world pay attention. Gout Gout ran 20.04 seconds in the 200-meter final at the 2024 Australian All-Schools Championships. The performance shattered Australian and Oceanian records while destroying Usain Bolt's world, age 16, best of 20.13 seconds from 2003. At just 16 years old, the Queensland teenager became the second fastest under 1.8 runner in history. Only one under 1.8 mark stands ahead of Gout on the world list, American Arion Knighton's 19.84. With his breakthrough, the Australian now sits joint 6th on the global under 2.0 rankings, remarkable for a 6-year-old competing against athletes up to 4 years older when they set their times. These are adult times, and me, just a kid, I'm running them. It's going to be a great future for sure, Gout said after erasing the longest-standing sprint record in Australian history. That mark belonged to Peter Norman, whose 20.06 at the 1,968 Mexico City Olympics earned silver in one of the most iconic races ever. Norman's record stood firm for more than 5 decades, resisting every Australian challenger until Gout toppled it at 16. His 2-day showcase began with the 100 meters. In the heats, Gout sped to a 10.04 with a plus 3.4 meters per second wind, the 4th fastest under 1.8 performance ever, and the 5th fastest by any Australian in all conditions. He then won the final in 10.17 with a legal plus 0.9 meters per second breeze, breaking the national under 1.8 record previously held by Sebastian Sultana. The double gold announced a new force on the global stage. "I have always done what I said I will do," Gout said. "If I said something, it's on my mind, and I am pursuing it until I do it." Born the 29th of December 2007 in Ipswich, Queensland, Gout is one of 7 children of Monica and Bona, Dinka refugees from South Sudan who arrived in Australia in 2005. The family name, originally romanized as Guat or Guat, was misspelled as Gout during transliteration in Egypt. It's pronounced to rhyme with pout.
His name is Gout. It's supposed to be G-U-O-T. When I see people call Gout Gout, I'm not really happy for it.
Gout
Gout's
Gout has
father
voiced interest in restoring the original spelling to avoid confusion with the disease. Gout attends Ipswich Grammar School and first excelled in soccer before committing fully to track, a choice that altered his path. His rise accelerated in 2025. On March 16 at the Queensland State Championships, he blasted a wind-assisted 19.9, 8 plus 3.6 to win the under 2:0 200 meters, becoming the first Australian to break 20 seconds in any conditions. He admitted the start was shaky and motivation lagged until the bend. Feeling the tailwind, he drove home and celebrated when the clock rounded down under 20. Earlier that day, he ran a legal 20.05 plus 1.2 in the heats, the fastest time in the world that year across all ages, surpassing Zimbabwe's Makanakaisha Charamba 20.13. April delivered another leap. At the Australian Athletics Championships in Perth on April 13, Gout twice stopped the clock at 9.99 inches, the 100 meters first with plus 3.5 and then plus 2.6 wind before winning the 200 meters senior title in 19.84. Though wind-assisted, the performances secured his selection for the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. His European debut on June 24 at the Golden Spike in Ostrava proved he could do it legally too, a 20.02 with zero wind, an Oceanian record that bettered his 20.04 from December. The time also outpaced Usain Bolt's first Ostrava appearance, 20.2 8 inches 2006. "I don't feel any pressure," Gout said. "As soon as I step on the track, it's just me and what I've got to do, my favorite thing." On the 17th of September 2025, at Tokyo's National Stadium, the 17-year-old made his senior Worlds debut, placing third in his 200 meters heat in 20.23 behind Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo and defending world champion Noah Lyles, advancing to the semifinals and ranking 12th overall. He admitted to butterflies and a botched start, though his reaction time 0.144 was the best in the heat. The next day, racing in wet conditions, he finished fourth in his semifinal in 20.36, missing the final on place and time but gaining invaluable experience. "It was a great race," he told Australia's Channel 9. "I looked back at what I did in the heat and tried to fix it for the semifinal, and that's exactly what I did." Even that semifinal bettered Bolt's 2005 Worlds debut, 20.68, eliminated in the heats. By 17, Gout had not only rewritten Australian sprint history, but also placed himself on a trajectory that invites comparisons with the sport's greatest, while reminding everyone he's still just getting started. Usain Bolt himself acknowledged the Australian teenager, posting on social media a photo with Gout alongside the caption, "He looks like young me." The comparison stems from their similar tall, slim physiques and upright running styles. Obviously, in the moment, it feels great because everyone wants to be compared to Usain. But at times, it does get a bit overwhelming, Gout admitted. "Now that I've grown up and matured, my circle really helps me stay level. I'm just trying to make a name for myself." World Athletics President Sebastian Coe praised his composure and promise. He is the real deal, but the challenge over the next 3 to 4 years is to take his talent into the seniors, Coe told Sky Sports. "He's very level-headed and has good man management." From age 13 to 17, Gout's rise has been rapid. His 200-meter best fell from 22.68 seconds in 2021 to 20.02 inches 2025, signaling elite potential. Standing 1.83 meters tall, he plans to emphasize the 100 meters as he develops physically, though the 200 remains his passion. "I like the 200 more," he said. "The 100 feels too short. I love reaching top speed and holding it." The 2032 Brisbane Olympics will take place less than an hour from his hometown of Ipswich. Gout will be 24 perfect age for a sprinter's prime. "I think God made my parents follow that path and end up in Queensland," he said. "There was a choice between Canada and Australia, and I think it was God's will they came here." Athletic talent runs deep in his family. His mother, Nikiruka, told the BBC she sensed his ability before birth. "When I was pregnant, he kept on kicking." Both parents represented Nigeria at the 2002 Commonwealth Games. Former Olympian Jane Fleming has compared Gout's frame and stride to Usain Bolt's, while Olympic champion Noah Lyles congratulated him online after his 10.04-second 100 meters in 2024. Gout later trained with Lyles and coach Lance Brahman in Florida. At 17, he's grounded, gifted, and fast, becoming Australia's next global sprint star. Gout trained with Lyles and his coach Lance Brahman in Florida. "I just learned to be myself and follow my processes," Gout said after the training camp. The experience with Olympic and world champions provided valuable insight into elite-level preparation. At just 17, Gout already holds the Oceanian 200-meter record at 20.02 seconds and Australian under 1:8 records in both the 100 meters, 10.17, and 200 meters, 20.04. His wind-assisted bests, 9.99 and 19.84, show his extraordinary speed. At 16, he claimed silver in the 200 meters at the 2024 World U20 Championships, proving he could challenge the world's best juniors. His races have gone viral, earning him the nickname Future of 200 meters. Despite the rising attention and pressure, Gout remains calm and grounded. "There is always pressure, but I am just running," he says. Focused on performance over hype, the Australian sprint prodigy continues to break barriers and rewrite history. At 17, his times already rank among the fastest ever recorded by a junior sprinter, and his next chapter is only beginning.
Oh, here, Gout. He's already got the stagger, so he moves right on past Chase Grant, and now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.07.
A 17-year-old Australian walked onto the track for his first major championship. The world compared him to Usain Bolt. The pressure was unbearable. No one knew if he'd rise or crumble. What happened next left 50,000 fans frozen in disbelief. Gout advanced to the 200-meter semifinals at the 2025 World Athletics Championships, finishing third in his heat with a time of 20.23 seconds. The Queensland teenager competed against Olympic champion Tebogo and survived his highly anticipated senior debut on the global stage. When Bolt made his major debut, the Jamaican legend did not make it out of the heats. Gout topped him there, becoming the youngest athlete ever to compete in the 200 meters at a World Championships. The achievement alone exceeded what Bolt managed at the same age. He is the GOAT. "I just got out to the semis, so it's definitely great to know that I'm up against the top 24 inches the world," Gout said after qualifying. "It's Usain Bolt. He's the athlete everyone looks up to, so I just gotta keep looking up to him and try to be like him." The journey to Tokyo began 7 months earlier on a sweltering December day in Brisbane. On the 7th of December 2024, at the Australian All-Schools Championships, Gout ran 20.04 seconds in the 200-meter final. The time shattered Peter Norman's Australian record of 20.06 seconds, which had stood since the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. It also destroyed Usain Bolt's world age 16 best of 20.13 seconds, set in 2003. "These are adult times, and me, just a kid, I'm running them. It's going to be a great future for sure," Gout said after breaking the longest-standing Australian record on the books. He now sat second on the world under 1:8 all-time list, behind only Arian Knighton's 19.84 seconds. Gout turned 17 at the end of December, making 2024 his final season as an under 1:8 athlete. The day before that historic 200-meter run, Gout won the 100-meter final in 10.17 seconds with a 0.9 meters per second wind reading, breaking the Australian under 1:8 record. He had clocked a wind-assisted 10.04 seconds in the heats with a 3.4 meters per second tailwind, the fourth fastest under 1:8 time in world history. 3 months later, on the 16th of March 2025, Gout became the first Australian ever to break the 20-second barrier in the 200 meters. At the Queensland State Championships, he stopped the clock at a wind-assisted 19.98 seconds with a 3.6 meters per second tailwind in the under 2:0 final. "I had an unsteady start, and to be honest, after that I didn't really feel like running," Gout said after the race, "but it felt pretty good. I came off the bend and I just kept sending it. I felt the wind behind me, so I was like, let me just use it. And then I saw the clock, and when it got rounded down to a sub-20 time, I just couldn't be happier,"